every day.
Back at it again with another one. What's up, Browns fans? Another day of training camp. We're on the heels of the actual release of the suspension, and I believe the Watson camp already has the answer at how many games. NFLPA released a statement around 8 o'clock Eastern PM saying that they're fine with the verdict and they will not appeal. That sounds like a chess move. We'll see how the NFL reacts to it itself, but I want to talk about the camp. I went to the session for July 31st. I was actually there in attendance, a couple takeaways and a couple things from that day. We got to see it live in action. Deshaun Watson and how Kevin Stefanski is managing everything. They're splitting reps. So I was there, it was like 2-3 plays Watson, then 2-3 plays per set. One of the biggest takeaways I noticed with the reps was that Jerome Ford was getting a lot of reps and a lot of play time out there. I don't know if Kareem Hunt was hurt at the time, but I don't know how that bodes for Demetric Felton and D'Ernest Johnson. Could be a potential D'Ernest Johnson trade on the way. We can get some rumors for that coming up. Okay, another camp storyline was undrafted free agent standout Isaiah Weston went down for an ACL injury. They said that it could be a torn ACL or it could be just like a really damaged ACL. Either way it goes, surgery is required. So already, that's 3 bodies in the wide receiver room. We're at DEFCON 1 with the wide receivers. Note, Demetric Felton has been working primarily in the slot this camp. I think Demetric Felton's only way to make this team right now would just be via wide receiver. Jerome Ford looks like he's going to take that third running back spot, unfortunately, from D'Ernest Johnson. You can see D'Ernest Johnson traded to another team like Atlanta or like Seattle before the start of the season, or like on the last day of cut day. You see the difference in camp, the way that Watson throws the ball as opposed to Brissett. Watson is in true doubt rare form. He is a franchise quarterback. And passes were accurate, they were crisp, they were on time. The last takeaway that I want to go over is the notion that it was a report here. I'm going to put it right here on the screen. It was a report that Deshaun Watson received a mixed reaction. He got a 50-50 reaction and by his own fans. Do not believe that. Do not look into that and see anything. There was no 50-50 reaction. Watson was cheered almost immediately when they realized he was on the field. No boos, no one came out with signs, no sexual assault jokes or anything else like that. It was a fan base firmly behind the quarterback. And I believe, just like looking at his body expressions and everything else, like he needed that win. This is a guy who hasn't been in front of the fans for at least a year and a half. I think he needed that win and that support. And the Browns fans, we stood together and we supported Watson from the beginning of when he came onto the field until the end when he was signing autographs for kids, playing rock, paper, scissors for cleats. So I wouldn't believe anything that they said about the fan base being divided. We weren't divided there. So, and then my personal opinion and how many games he got. I've been hearing the rumblings of 4 to 8 games. They wanted the NFL to settle, and also there have been rumblings that the NFL wanted a year indefinitely to start out with. Now they're down to 12 to start out with, and Deshaun's camp is likely ready to accept the 6 to 8 game suspension with a heavy fine. The main thing with the NFL, I think the NFL doesn't want Deshaun Watson there for the Texans game, and I think the NFL does not want Deshaun Watson via the Browns representation in the playoffs, at least this year. They want to penalize over half the season, just hoping that the Browns don't stay afloat. It would be just too soon for the NFL standpoint, and they'll feel like they have to do something themselves. So one key point, one takeaway point is we have to wait the 3 days to see if the NFL will appeal this overall suspension. It could go either or. It could be sue rules of 4 to 6, 4 to 8 game range suspension, or it could be that she agrees with the NFL and throws down the complete hammer. But the NFL's standpoint from this is that they do not want Deshaun Watson that Texans game, and they don't want the Browns sniffing anywhere near the playoffs this year just because of the PR look. So, Browns fans, it's always next year. It's always next year. But this year, it's going to be